All right, all you Move, Think, Smile followers, it's Adam and Elea coming at you today. We are the founders of Move, Think, Smile, and we've got an amazing episode for everybody in our Dr. Money for health coaches and practitioners. So in this episode, we want to specifically address the 3 steps that health experts use to create waiting line demand. And the kicker on top of this is even if their price is $3K, $5K or more. Now, why is this so important? Well, earlier in the week, we posted a couple things. People started giving us feedback saying, hey, I need help with number one, my marketing. Like everybody coming into the group, we asked that question. What's the biggest obstacle you're facing? Getting clients, getting leads, my marketing, getting myself out there, positioning myself, my value, owning my worth, all this stuff, right? So if you're dealing with any of that stuff, then today's episode you're going to want to pay attention to because that's exactly what we're going to dive into. And this is the same stuff that we're teaching our clients that we work with who are, well, they're having 10K days. They're getting out there. We just had somebody, I got to pull it up here in a second, Ellie, but they're having like one of our clients, Barb, just posted, hey, I just had my first enrollment call and she was literally at $79. $79 is what she was charging for 6 weeks to work with her and some type of like group thingy that she was doing. And she just posted, here it is. I'm going to pull this up right here. I'm going to share my screen if I can get it to work. She just posted this right here and I need to get the right window. There it is. Boom. Literally 2 hours ago. Holy crap. I just got off the phone with my first client and she said, yes, I've got my first 3K client. So this is what's really, really important. Let's see here. You guys can't even see that, can't you? Let me try this again. There we go. Barb just posted, holy crap, I just got off the phone with my first enrollment call. And she said, yes, my first K client, my first 3K client. So the trick here is, how does that happen? What has Barb done to go from giving $79 6-week programs helping women, right? Specifically focusing on women, and she's just a fitness person, to enrolling somebody at 3K in just, I don't know, how long we've been working with her, Elliot? 3 weeks?
Yeah, not long.
Like 21 days, like maybe 23 days if you look the actual date that we got started. And that's what we're going to go over with you today. And I think the important thing is to understand that as health and wellness people, because I'm a health coach, Ellie is a life coach, Robin, who you saw last week, she's everything. She's a life coach. She's a wellness coach. She's a health coach. She's got a functional background. She's a digital marketing expert, all that kind of fun stuff. We're taught to get in there and use integrative methods to really help people transform their health, true wellness, right? We're being taught all these strategies, but Elia, how many people do you actually see using integrative strategies with their business?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the tough thing, right? It's like, we all know intellectually this concept of integrative. And for so many people, they're, teaching it every day and they're talking about it. But when we go behind the door of the business, it's like we forget to bring that with us. And it's so, so key. And it's interesting because I think it's really just a matter of progression. So I remember, after going through my first coaching certification program, it was like everyone was really great at bringing their coaching skills to the clients, but then at home, they wouldn't be bringing any of those skills, which were so powerful to bring to the other relationships that I had at home or, in other places. And so you really started to realize that you were getting it when you were applying it in a lot of different areas of your life.
Yeah. And so it's just like this. I mean, if you guys know the concept of bioindividuality or biouniqueness, right? Well, it might be food for me. It could be poison for Elia. So we're not going to have the same diets. We're not going to follow the same protocol for sleep or exercise or any of that stuff. But why is it so many wellness experts are treating their business just like everybody else out there? So let's dive into this. What are the 3 steps health experts use to create waiting line demand by taking a fully integrative approach with their business? So step number 1, and this is what we see all the time. So many people are caught up in charging for the procedure, charging for the treatment, trading time for money, or what we call a transactional model. And my bet is this kind of comes from 2 big industries out there. Well, one, our healthcare industry, especially the hospital system. That's how they work. How much time did the doctor spend for you? What was the treatment? What medication did you get? What IVs did you get? They have codes for everything. They have prices for everything. And so that's what the insurance pays. And you pay 20%, 30% if you're lucky to have that kind of insurance, or you pay for the whole thing, right?
Yep.
Also, it comes from, I think, our legal system, because attorneys get out there and they bill by the hour, which is one of the reasons they're burning out left and right. We'll talk that. That's a topic for another show. So, and it's why our healthcare system, the nurses, the doctors, right? And don't get me wrong, I really respect, we need the doctors, we need the hospitals for trauma and sickness and accidents and things like that. But the reality is they're trained to manage and mitigate the symptoms instead of getting to the root cause of the problem and helping people actually transform their health for the long term. So we're following the system. This is kind of what we've been trained to do. It's kind of like a social norm. And we don't know any better when we get into this. Like, we did it too. We got out
Yeah.
there and I remember what we were charging, Elliot, $120 an hour.
Yeah, something like that. But I also think it has to do too with the idea that we come to our pricing with like, okay, I have this many certifications, or I've worked with this many clients, and like, if I'm just getting started out, and since I haven't worked with a lot of clients, like my price should be, really low, and then I can slowly work my way up. And so when we look at the pricing from that perspective, we're putting all of the pressure on us, and we're trying to put this value on us. And that feels really awkward for a lot of people because they're not sure, like, well, I want to value myself, but then like, what's the right number and what makes the most sense? And so that's really a tough way to go about it. We really want to flip flop that and really look at, the people that we're helping and the struggles they're overcoming, and looking at it from the client's cost perspective versus like, what's my number? What am I worth?
Right. So, well, how do you define the worth, right? So, the worth is not the time that you're spending with somebody. This is the biggest mistake we see with health experts, is that transactional model. Time for money, paying for the procedure, paying for the treatment. They try and package it together. It's like, hey, if you work with me, it's $49 a month. And if you pay up front, it's only $34. So you get a big discount. And then people complain if you raise your price like $5. And
Yeah.
that low ticket stuff, okay, cool, it can work. But here's the reality. When somebody invests $20 in a Walmart item, do they show up the way they need to? No, they don't. So instead, we move from transaction to transformation. And this is a mindset shift. And it's something that it's not just as easy to say, okay, I was charging $79 and Barb got out there and started charging $3,000. It wasn't just like it happened like that, right? We
Yeah.
had some serious work to do. But instead, she's basically doing the same thing, but she's positioning it in a different way. And she's got her mindset off of what's in it for me and what people are going to pay by the hour and what everybody else is doing. And she's now moved from being a Kia in the world of cars, right, to being a BMW.
Mm-hmm.
And as one of our clients said earlier today, BMW doesn't care what Kia thinks, right?
Yeah.
BMW works with high value people. And that's what we want you to do too. So you want to position yourself on the transformation. And when you get in there and you look at it, you do it the right way, and you say, hey, instead of, let's take a yoga instructor. All right, you come to me, you do some yoga sessions. It's $20 a month. I'll do some live sessions. You can come in there and get some exercise, stuff like that. Sorry. So let's take that away. We actually know somebody who is a Kundalini yoga instructor and has a $9,000 offer helping women de-stress from corporate life
Mm-hmm.
using Kundalini yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because what she's doing, she's now positioning it as a transformation. So it's not just, I'm going to take my price from 79 to 3K. You've got to understand, what is the transformation you're giving to the people? What is the full lifetime value of what you're giving them? And what cost are you saving them over the long term? That's how you move from transaction to transformation. And what happens, Elia, when you have a higher price?
Well, it's like everybody shows up, better. I mean, the coach, the practitioner, we show up better, but the clients also really show up. And it's like, they're like, all right, no more, putting this off, or no more letting myself off the hook, because I've really invested in this and I really want to make this happen. And, I think that's so key, and it's so beneficial for everybody involved.
And
And
yeah, I wanted to stack on that real
yeah,
quick, because one thing that we know, and I don't know really why the sales psychology around this is, but it is 3,000 is that magic number, not 29.97, 3K. And the reason it's so powerful is because when somebody invests 3K into their own health out of their own pocket, not insurance, I'm talking about people paying, they show up at a higher level. And guess who else shows up at a higher level?
Yeah, exactly. As we were saying, it's like we show up with, more energy, more power, more to give to our clients. And this is what's really, sucks for, people trying to get out there and help people with their health is when you are, discounting yourself or not getting what you could be getting, you then have to see so many people in order to make a living and you get run down. And this is something that we're really passionate about here at Move Think Smile, which is being able to have your living and have your career and not be burning out. And we see so many
Yes.
people that are struggling to burn out because they have to see so many people to actually make enough money to exist, or they're seeing people and then they have that other job.
Yeah. So,
So,
so, so here's a great example. So if you're at 150 bucks an hour, right? And if you work with clients 40 billable hours a week, and I'm not talking about the back end admin, which is going to easily add another 20 on there. So you're working 60 hours a week and you're spent in the weekends, you just want to sleep at. You're not even enjoying them. Yeah, you can do $6,000, right? And you can do 24 grand a month if you do that. Or you could work with 7 clients, right? And only work 6 to 10 hours a week with those clients in total and
mhm.
make the same amount. And what's the big difference on this, Elia? When we're in a transactional model charging 150 bucks an hour, do you remember what the success rate is?
No, I don't remember the percentage off the top of my head.
It's a giant 3%.
3%. Yeah. Low.
3% of the people you work with under 3K actually transform their health for the long term. It
Mhm.
blows my mind away. But when you move up to 3K or more, transformational model, that 3% becomes an amazing 97%. And the only reason it's 97% is every now and then you let somebody slip in and something big happens in their life, some big life obstacle, and COVID, death in the family, gosh forbid, and they just can't finish. And it's
Mhm.
usually not because they don't want to, it's because something has just taken them away. I cannot believe how powerful that is. 3% to 97%. So step number 2, let's kind of talk about this. So once you've got your price set, you're like, okay, I got a transformational model. I'm going to really, really position myself out there. Well, how do I get out there and speak to people? How do I market this thing? And Elliot, step number 2 is
Talk like people think.
right.
Speak to them in language that is crossing their mind. That's always going to be really the most powerful thing you can do. And what we see people doing a lot is, the languaging and the copy and the all the things that go around with the marketing are really focused on making them look good or trying to express it in a way that, people are really going to understand, which is important to do. But we actually want to get to, in some ways, a pretty superficial level of speaking with people because we want to be talking exactly how they're thinking. And all of us know our brain has had some pretty superficial thoughts, right? Our brain also has lots of thoughts about, you know, um, when we're really tired or we're sick and we don't feel well. A lot of times those thoughts can be kind of negative or they're definitely not very exciting. And so we have to really recognize where people are and the thought processes that are happening to them that they're thinking and speak to that so they know that we know exactly where they're at.
Yeah, so many wellness experts I watch out there, and I'm reading their ads all the time. I'm looking at their marketing, and they're really focusing on like this high level collegiate style speaking. And the reality is, if someone's got a health or wellness condition, I can guarantee fatigue is part of the symptom,
Mhm.
right? They're not up to par. Name it. Give me a health or wellness condition where fatigue is not part of the problem, right? Or
Mhm.
a symptom of the problem. And when they're fatigued, guess where their cognitive level is? It ain't on a collegiate level. I can tell you that right now. So if you really want to get a transformational offer in front of people to get them to take bold actions and to click and want to talk to you, you better learn how to speak how they think, talk like they think. This is a process that Ellie and I actually came up with over a period of 12 years, right? It's what we use with our clients. It makes people, it engages them, even if they're on a cell phone and you're going through and you're thumbing stuff. Like we've got campaigns right now where we're getting like, 50-cent clicks and people are opting in for $2.
Mhm.
And it's not just, and I'm not talking about quality over quantity. I'm talking about quality and quantity, both. High quality people coming in because the message is landing with them. The message is hitting them. You're able to really get in there and hit those sweet spots that are making them tick, and you're making it about them and not you. That's how we talk like people think. It's
Yeah.
a very precise process. Elia?
Yeah, no, I think you explained it perfectly. And, again, I just kind of giggle because, when we're using messaging like this, I mean, it's going to feel weird or superficial, like I
Right.
said. It might even feel it's like, oh my gosh, this sounds so dumb. But again, everybody knows this feeling. Everybody knows the feeling of seeing something in a marketing message where you're like, oh my gosh, are they in my head? Like,
Yeah.
I just had that thought, or I just experienced that feeling, or I just had that, symptom. And so it immediately gives you a level of credibility because, the person that's struggling with something feels like you get them and you
Yeah.
know them, and that it isn't about your credentials. It's just not. It's about making sure that people read and understand that you absolutely get where they are.
Yeah. And we call it the ACE method. You got to attract them. You want to attract them in so they make a bold move to take the next step in your marketing. Then you've got to connect with them. You want to shift the way that they're thinking so they're thinking differently. And then you want to get them on the phone and you want to smile more because they say yes, you're helping them. They're having an amazing life at a bargain price, even though it's 3K, and your bottom line is healthy too. So for everybody just joining us, Ellie and I are talking specifically about the 3 steps health experts use to create waiting line demand. Now, step number 1, move from transaction to transformation. Step number 2, talk like people think, which is what we're just talking about. That's a very precise way to really hit the sweet spots, especially in the mobile environment of digital marketing. It's
Mhm.
very powerful. And when you use it the right way, you get big results like we shared with Barb, our client, who I just got to share it again right here. Holy crap. First enrollment call, 3K client. I'm just going to leave it at that. Super cool stuff. And step number 3 is you want to simplify your marketing. Most experts out there in the wellness field are overcomplicating things. And you guys have heard me say this before. Any marketing strategy can work. I mean, if you want to get out there, you want to do social blitzing, go for it. You want to get out there and create a podcast and become a radio celebrity, do it. You want to create a YouTube channel, do it. You want to be a vlogger or blogger, you can do that too. Me personally, I got enough stuff to do with my own clients and stuff that we're working with in my own life. Like I like to do things that's not the stuff that I want to do. So simplify your marketing. So if you got a transformational offer, and I do want to say one thing about this pricing, because I have a lot of people complaining about this. They're like, how dare you raise the price up there when there's so many people out there hurting, right? Who don't have any money. It's like, well, I live in South Carolina and I drive through the rural countryside all the time. And I see these white trash trailers with brand new Dodge Charger Hellcat Hemis sitting in the driveway that are $120,000 cars. When people want something, they will find a way to do it. And we want them to show up because how many of you, put in the comments below, how many of you ever worked with somebody who was non-compliant? Basically, you give them everything they need. You show up 100%. You give them all the tools. You tell them exactly what they do. They go home, smoke a pack of cigarettes, and drink a 12-pack of Budweiser. Non-compliant. How frustrating is that? So do you want to give your stuff away at $100 to not have anybody do the work? Or do you want people to actually have transformation? So transformational model, talk like people think, simplify your marketing. This is what we use. This is what our clients use. This is the secret sauce.
Mhm.
One ad, it's paid ad. It can be on different platforms. Facebook's a great one. As of today, still is. It's cheaper than LinkedIn. Google's another good one. Amazon's got another good one, right? Those are the big ones. One ad, 2, a video. Now, sometimes a video can be as short as 2 minutes long. People are like, what? 2 minutes? Yes. We're in a different industry. We're in wellness. People have health problems. A 2-minute video, when you do it right and you talk like people think in that video, will get them to click to have a phone call with you. And you have to learn how to have the conversation to where, I mean, technically it's a sales call, right, Elia?
Mhm.
But are we selling?
No.
What are we doing?
It's really just it's enrolling people, and it's really trying to figure out from an equal partnership, see if I can get my hands in the right space, an equal partnership of really an interview process. It's making sure that you really can help this person, and that this person is a good fit, and that this person really like is down with what you're saying and what you're offering and what they're going to do. So I feel like in so many ways, marketing, especially when we're trying to churn out a lot of selling a lot of programs, for example, right? It's like we're just trying to like pull people in, we're trying to pull them in and convince them that this is the thing to do. Where when you have a conversation with someone, it's so much more of an equal playing field, and you really know who's coming in and who you're working with and what kind of vibe they have and how and if your vibes vibe together,
Right.
right? Or not. So I feel like the level of quality that comes from that, which really benefits everybody all around, is really, really powerful.
Yeah.
And when you set yourself up for success in that way, so you're not burning yourself out, you're actually making a good income. It actually allows you to leverage your power, your dollars to help the people that maybe can't afford these things, but helping them through something like donating to an organization that needs the cash to have the manpower to help these people. So I
Right.
think what's also important is that when we're talking about people and two people that love to help. And it's really important to realize it's like you can help in all sorts of ways and still make a good income. You don't have to
Yeah.
be at the poverty level to then, feel like it's okay because you're at
I'm-
poverty and you're helping people. And it's like there's so many different ways we can leverage what you want to do without being broke.
Yeah, it's just like our client Greta, who was a PA in the emergency room down in Florida. She's like, it's crazy. She's like, we have sick people taking care of sick people.
Hmm.
That's what's happening. In the world, we're at a tipping point, especially in North America, in the English speaking countries. We're at a tipping point, one from purely sickness model to one of wellness. And people are starting to raise their hand. And this is why, and this is a data source from Market Data LLC, super respected research company. It's $1,000 report. It's not like somebody just made this up. 60% of our population in the United States wants wellness. They want coaching and help with their wellness. And 80% of that number, which eats like 157 to 160 million people, have never had it offered to them. Guys, 160 million people are sitting there right there saying, I want your help, but they don't know you exist. They don't know you exist. So don't worry about all the freaking lead magnets and the free PDFs and the challenges. The people don't want that stuff. Sure, it can work for other industries and it can kind of work for health and wellness, but honestly, ad, video, phone call. You simplify it, you save your time, you automate a bunch of stuff. So let's go back and kind of do a quick recap. Today's show is about the 3 steps health experts use to create waiting line demand, even if their prices are $3K or more. Step number 1, move from transaction to transformation. Stop charging for the procedures and trading your time for money. Start looking at what you're really doing for somebody, and the real people will show up and will actually transform their health for the long term. Step number 2, position yourself by learning how to talk like people think, not just in what you're writing, but also in what you're saying in conversations. This is super important. A lot of people don't do both, if they even do one. Step number 3, simplify your marketing. Add video, phone call. Now, if you're dead serious about getting your clients the fastest, strongest results possible, you're functional, you're integrative, you're holistic, you're a health coach or a practitioner, you're a wellness expert, you're really about getting to the root cause and really help people be well, then we have an invitation. We would like to invite each and every one of you to come over to see if you qualify for a wellness business growth session. Now, you're going to speak with myself or Elea. You're not going to be talking to like some sales team, somebody who doesn't know what you're talking about. You're going to be speaking to one of us. Come over to movethinksmile.com/apply. You will see a form there. It's super simple. Go through the form. If you qualify, you'll get the results and it will take you to our personal calendar. You can choose a date on there. We'll have some information about your business so we can be super prepared. and then pick a time and we'll connect. It is complimentary if you qualify. If you qualify. So if you are serious about changing the results of your business, you want to have both healthy clients and a healthy bottom line, why not? What have you got to lose? MoveThinkSmile.com/apply, because Elliot is a maniac. She's such a slimy used car salesperson. Oh, it's so gross to talk to her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could see
Love that world.
you could see how awesome her camera is today. She's all ghostly and stuff. She makes me look good because it makes me look tan.
I know. I don't know where I went today, but I'm white.
Tech, you got to love it sometimes. So guys, come over to movethinksmile.com/apply. We invite you to come on a complimentary growth session for your health or wellness business. Now, remember, we cannot help everybody. It's not for everyone. You've got to be dead serious about your clients first, getting them results, right? You got to be cool with getting outside of your comfort zone, because that's where we're going to push you, because that's where the results are, both for your clients and for your company, right? And 3, you got to be able to solve a major health or wellness challenge. And it doesn't matter if you're a Pilates instructor who's a postpartum corrective exercise specialist and you help with diastasis, abdominal gaps, and leaking. It doesn't matter if you're a health coach who gets out there and helps people lower their A1C score naturally. It doesn't matter if you're a functional doctor who helps men with erectile dysfunction. And it doesn't matter if you work with hormone imbalances or cardiovascular heart disease or lupus or other autoimmune conditions. If you're good at what you do and you know how to help people and you really have the heart to do it, and you'd like to have a 97% success rate with your clients, as well as, be able to look at your business like, wow, I'm so glad this is happening. Like, as Zig Ziglar says, what does he say, Ellie? Remember Zig Ziglar, the old motivational guy?
Mm-hmm.
And his motto is,
tell me what you're thinking, because I have like a million of his quotes stuck in my head, and I'm like, okay, which one is he? Which one?
helping up people get what they want, and you can have whatever you want.
Yes.
And that's our mantra at Move, Think, Smile. You help enough people transform their health for the long term, and you're allowed to enjoy life a little bit. And that's the gosh honest truth. Because we were put here on this planet to serve, but we're also put here on this planet, we're allowed to enjoy it too, right? We're not trying to be slimy. We're not trying to be greasy, any of that kind of stuff. So come on over to movethinksmile.com, apply, see if you qualify for a free growth session with either Elea or myself. And on that note, Elea, any other parting shots?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I think the biggest thing is just really, if you want different results in the business and you want to shift the way that you're seeing your marketing, because one thing that I hear a lot, especially people that, come in and they first start working with us, is they just have this crappy relationship with marketing. They just feel like it's like slimy, or it's this or it's that. And I get it, because, I was there too. And I think, it's so powerful when you're looking at something like this to really go, okay, I know that marketing is an integral piece of building my business. So you might as well make friends with it. You might as well find someone, whether it's us or somebody else, that's going to, really you're going to resonate with, to help you repair this relationship with marketing. Because for so many people, it's just such a frustrating relationship, but it's the most powerful piece of your business.
Yeah. And you have to understand, it doesn't matter if you're working for somebody else or if you own your own business. You're marketing all the time. Everything you do, you're always marketing. Everybody's a salesperson. And this is one of the concepts that people don't understand, especially with your own business. So if you don't get this down, it's going to be really tough.
Yep.
And a lot of people ask, Elliot, like, why are we different? Right? Like, what makes Move, Think, Smile special? And I think first and foremost, because we are health coaches and life coaches and wellness experts with our own active wellness programs. So we practice what we preach. We really understand this stuff. It's not like we used to do it. Like, we do it all the time. And we specialize, I don't know if you guys believe this or not, we specialize in burnout. So if you're feeling burned out and you're like, I don't want to have to post 15 times a day on social media and do 18 lives a week and have to write 60 email nurture sequences. Oh!
Well, and I think the other most important thing, I mean, Adam, I hear that a lot, right? I hear people saying like, oh yeah, they're, you kind of hear this a lot. Like people say about other people, oh, they're doing this because they, couldn't do it, or they or yeah, maybe you should work with us because we have a program and we do this. But honestly, I think the most important thing is that you connect with whoever you work with to help you on this. And I know
Yes.
a lot of people, a lot of our clients that come and work with us, they connect with how we think, they connect with our philosophy on life, they connect with the experiences that we've had and that maybe we've even shared. So, they have a shared, hobby or a shared love of something. And that's not always the intuitive thing that people go to when they think about working with someone, but it is actually something really important, especially when, yeah, there are tons of people that could help you grow your business. So in the long run, I want you to think more about, it's not even necessarily like, oh, this person has this expertise and this person has this. Who do you jive with? Who do you want to hang out with? Because you're going to hang out with them a good chunk of the time as you build your business and change your relationship to marketing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. On that note, everybody, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Or if you have any ideas about live trainings that you'd like us to tackle, and you have a specific realm of how do I do this or how do I do that, we'll be happy to address them here. And if you're like, hey, I'm ready to change things, I'm ready to change things are going, this is not a magic pill. This stuff does take work. We've simplified the process so we can make it happen in a relatively short period of time. For Barb, I'm going to share this one more time. She came in 23 days ago at $79, and now she just had her first enrollment call, and she enrolled her first client at $3K. This is legit, real stuff. Come on over to movethinksmile.com/apply. See if you qualify for a free complimentary wellness growth session with myself or Elea. On that note, it's been honored here, guys. Put the comments in below if we did a great job, if you found this valuable, and if there's anything else we can tackle in our next session. We'll see everybody next time. Take care.